What's going on, everybody? Product Probes Christian back at you. Got a neat one today. This is the Tac-Force 534 Karambit knife. Pretty sweet little knife. Got a cool story behind it. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we actually got this knife a couple months ago, and what happened was we went to go get thumbnails, left it down on the beach on a couple rocks in the salt water for probably a whole month. So if you notice a little bit of rust on there, that's why. But I mean, this knife is still hold up really nice. Still got a really fast trigger. I mean, other than that, you can't really notice anything besides the rust. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So right here at the top, the only visuals you can see of this thing not being brand new is the rust right up here in these holes up there. And I don't even know if you can see it in the camera, but there is a little bit of rust right there, and maybe on the Tac-Force emblem right there, and a little bit on the back of the blade. But that's about it. Still a really cool knife. Let's go ahead, get into some of the details. So like I was saying, it's a Karambit knife. So what that means is, for those of you who may not know, it's kind of got a little bit of a hawk bill kind of thing going on right here, rather than just a straight blade. It's kind of got that curvature on the bottom right here. And I mean, it's just kind of more of a defensive tactical knife. Really not for EDC, everyday carry, EDC, but it's still a really cool knife to have. So like I was saying, Karambit got these holes up here, kind of just for looks. Also could be used to bend wire if you're into that. And got a real nice belly right here, kind of a backwards concave belly rather than the standard convex belly. And then you've got your dual thumb studs at the top. Got your standard liner lock here on the bottom. What I mean like a liner lock is, all you got to do, there's a piece of metal right here. So whenever you open the blade, it snaps into place, and it's going to hold that blade open. But all you got to do is push that back, opens up, closes up real nicely. And let me show you guys this trigger. This thing is extremely fast. I mean, nothing can beat this thing, guys. It's one of our fastest knives we've done on Product Probes. Just super fast, and especially for being left in the elements. It's been raining, salt water here down in Florida. Super weird weather down here, and it's held up for a whole month just sitting out on the rocks in the open. Really impressed with this thing so far. Super fast trigger. At least if I can't do a one-handed open close. I'm going to close it up real quick. Simple, really easy, super nice. And moving our way down the knife, I forgot to mention this was looks like a black oxidized stainless steel blade. Got your black aluminum handle with your Karambit hole down here in the bottom. That's the only thing, I'll mention that in a second, that I really don't like about the knife. But you got your holes in here kind of for aesthetics, kind of cut that weight down. But the thing is with the Karambit hole is that you get a weird grip when you put your pinky in there. So maybe because, I mean, I have pretty decent sized hands, but especially for people with smaller hands, that pinky kind of just feels kind of offset at the bottom right there. And it's really just uncomfortable, but if you're holding it like this, got a real nice defensive stance. You can use that, get in any type of situation, spin around a couple times, make it look cool, grab it like that, you're good to go. The grip this way, I'm really not digging the grip this way because of the hole down here. If you hold it without the pinky in the hole, it's a little bit better, but that's kind of what it's there for. But I wish it was a little bit higher up and it'd be a little better to, cut, whatnot. The grip on it isn't too bad. There's not too much grip on the knife. I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So, I mean, there's a little bit of grip up here at the top, right here, a couple ridges. I guess the holes kind of help a little bit, but it's all aluminum, so it's going to get a little bit sweaty in your hands. And then finally, you've got your pocket clip right here. And I can already tell, I'll show you guys real quick. Whenever you close the knife up, you're going to stick it in your pocket, there's going to be a good inch of knife sticking out. So I can already tell a downside on the knife. But that's really, between that and the hole down here, that's really the only thing I've got bad on the knife so far. Let's go ahead. I kind of want to check out the sharpness. I'm pretty sure this knife is still pretty sharp after being out left in the elements. See if I can't get a couple hairs. Getting a couple hairs. I mean, still not bad. I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera. Got some dead skin, a little bit, and a couple hairs. Let's go ahead and get some paper and check this thing out. Alright, let's go ahead and get this paper, see what we're looking at on the blade. So it is a little more difficult on the blade just because it's got that curvature to get a grip on it. But let's see what we're dealing with. So I'm going to go in at an angle right here. Like I was saying, a little more difficult to get a grip, but once you do get down in there, it's actually a really sharp blade, especially for being out this long. Let's try that one more time. Kind of coming at an angle. A little more ripping that time. I want to try that one more time because I'm really confident I can get it in there real nice and smooth without any problem. Alright, yeah, so it's going to be a little more difficult to get a grip on it, but once you do get down in that paper, it's an extremely sharp blade. So let's go ahead and test out this point. Usually the Karambit's got a real nice point because it's got that little drop off right here. It's almost like a clip point in a way, but the Karambit's got that hawk bill. Let's see, but you kind of have to come in at a like this just to get that good grip. So pretty decent point on here. There is a little bit of catch, but once you get in there, it's just a really sharp blade. Show you guys that one more time. I mean, very little ripping, very little tearing. There was a little problem right there, but I mean, really not a bad blade, guys. Really impressed with this. As you just saw, this thing is still really sharp, even after being left out on the beach for a whole month in the rain, salt water, still really sharp. And I'm sure if you ran into a sharpener 1, 2, 3 times, this thing would be extremely razor sharp. Really impressed with the sharpness so far. One thing I'm kind of dreading to do is going to check out these pockets, see how it feels in the pocket. Like I said earlier, it's going to stick really far up in the pocket. There's going to be probably a whole inch sticking out, and I'll show you what I mean by that one more time. So see how the pocket clip stops right here? You're going to have all this knife sticking out of the pocket. But let's go ahead and see what we're looking at in the pocket. Alright, let's go ahead and slide this thing down in the pocket, see what we're dealing with. So, slides in rather easily, and like I was saying right there, you see that bit sticking out right there. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it still is quite a bit of knife sticking out. Let's see the concealed side of it. Yeah, you can see maybe a little bit of the pocket clip hanging down at the bottom right there, but it's really not too bad. Printing is not bad at all either, just because it's a really slick, slim knife, which is real nice as well. Feels pretty lightweight in the pocket. You'd think that karambit hole down here at the bottom will kind of get in the way and interfering with your walking and whatnot, but it's really not doing that at all. Let's see where the trigger is. Pull it out. The trigger is right there. So not as bad as I was predicting. Let's go ahead, get back to the review. Okay, really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Slides out and in really nice. Trigger's right there. Pretty lightweight in the pocket too. We'll check that out in just a second. But really the only downfall was that bit sticking out right there. And really, for me, it's really not a deal breaker. I'm really kind of liking this knife so far. The trigger was right there. I mean, everything just kind of went well. The printing was actually really good too, just because it's a really sleek knife. It's not super bulky, which is also another thing I like about it. But one thing I want to go check out is see how this thing weighs up on the scale and see how long this thing is. All right, let's go ahead and throw this thing on the scale. Kind of curious to see what we're looking at here. 4.27 ounces, so a whopping 4.3 ounces. That's really, for the size of the knife, it's actually a pretty decent sized knife. It's really lightweight, so that's a definite plus. Let's go ahead and grab our ruler here. I'm guessing right around 8 inches probably with the karambit hole. So let's see, right at 7.5 inches. So almost an 8-inch knife to be only 4.27 ounces. That's a definite plus. Really impressed by that. And the length of the blade is right at 3 inches, and closed up we are looking probably around 5 inches. Yeah, just a real sick knife, guys. For being an almost 8-inch knife and to only be 4.3 ounces, this thing's actually really lightweight. Pretty impressed by that. I mean, overall, this is just a really nice knife. The fact that it's karambit, though, it's not going to suit everyone's needs. It's not really much of an EDC, more of a tactical knife to carry around. Have it right here, come around, defensive move right there. You can use it for cutting. Like I said, the thing is actually really sharp. Give you guys one last close-up on this thing, kind of go over the details one more time. Alright, so you do have your karambit style blade, hawkbill right there, holes at the top for wire bending, you got your dual thumb studs, liner lock, super fast trigger, assisted trigger, got your karambit hole down here, aluminum handle right there, and then I forgot to mention again the stainless steel oxidized black blade right there, probably 440C. It's the standard, and your liner lock. I mean, overall, guys, just a really cool knife. Got the cool stuff going on here with the karambit. They're actually pretty neat kind of style knife just to have. Kind of defensive moves, pretty cool. Cutting was really not that bad with this one, and the cut down's actually not too bad on this either, just because the blade kind of got to go in there like that. Pretty sick knife. That's about it for this one, guys. Remember to check out our Friday night knife giveaways. Every single Friday night, we are giving away a knife to all the subscribers. That you got, make sure you got to subscribe, obviously. Like the video. Comment down in the comment section. I mean, you can comment anything. It could be literally anything: chicken, eggs, knife, potatoes, anything eligible to win the knife. And make sure to spread the word. Product Pros, trying to grow, gain subscribers. Really just trying to be one of the best knife review channels on YouTube. Making that way up to the top. We're just starting, guys. This is only the beginning. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like, and we will see you on the next one.